Good morning, everyone. So last time we were talking about polynomial regression. Today we'll see the next part, the multiple linear regression, and what are the different models you are developing, how to assess their quality, how you can compare the two different models. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is the equation for multiple linear regression you can consider?
Like y equal to a naught plus a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3.
A1 x1 plus A2 x2 etc. Okay. So now how it is different than your earlier two models?
So here we are taking multiple descriptors. Like for earlier models, we are comparing with one descriptor itself.
Right. So earlier we considered that only one mod on only one factor your model is dependent on, but now here we are considering that multiple factors will come into picture. So in our case, for our QSAR study, the molecular descriptors are these multiple factors. Okay. So if you just want to apply the same concept here, what we have done earlier, so we can do that. So y is equal to, again, this equation will come. So if we are considering it just for like two variables, so x1 and x2 is coming into picture. So we have to consider that this is our developed model and this is something like we already know experimentally. So we can always associate some error with the what is the actual value of activity. Okay. So instead of here, if you are considering two descriptors, so instead of one, so we have to consider that earlier we had just like line representation. Now it can be converted into a plane representation if you want to talk in terms of space coordinate. Like that day Prabhuda asked one question related to how if more than three dimensions are coming into picture. So there are some interesting videos related to this. I will share one of them. Like when consider initially we just have a zero dimension as point, then it is converting into a line as one dimension. Then for two dimension you have a, suppose if you are considering as a square or plane like structure, so this will eventually move to a plane. Then you can consider it as a cube, and then up to third dimension the spaces you can imagine, like they in the video they mentioned that we our imagination is restricted to the three-dimensional space. Like you here we are not talking about time or something as the four dimension. So when you are talking about four dimension, you are again concerned with something related to space. So they say if you observe this carefully here, the zero dimension was there. When it is connected with something, it is becoming one dimension. This one dimension is connected with something, it is converted to two dimension. Same way the two dimensional structure, when it is connected by something, it is converting to three dimension. Similarly, they have an imagination that four in the four dimension, suppose if you are considering this cube like structure only, so two different cubes, you can observe that they will be having some connection with each other. Like earlier I said how you are jumping from this to this, so similarly they might be having some connections to each other. So that needs some kind of intuition to assume what kind of four-dimensional structure can come into picture, and even the 5D and multiple D. But this is not relevant to our course or something. Just if you are interested into this dimensional thing, you can understand. So for our stuff, we are interested in understanding the A0 and A0 and A2 kind of values. So again, you have to go, you want to try to fit your data points in the best possible way. So for idea is that you have some error, that error you are going to take the square of that for each and every term, and you are going to estimate this term called as SR. This term will be useful to you later on for estimating the quality of the model. So please know SR is equal to the what are the data points you have experimentally minus the data points that you are going to estimate through your model, the difference between that and square of that and the summation for each and every term. So I said that all these terms you can take the differentiation with respect to each and every coefficient, so you can get the three different equation. Again the same thing what you have earlier done even for the polynomial regression. So if there are three unknowns, so the 3 by 3 matrices you can see, which you can solve by the calculator, so that you can estimate the unknown coefficients. If there are four coefficients, it will be 4 by 4 matrices. Okay. So conceptually, this is similar. Now for us, now if we have any kind of data and looking at that, if you want to develop particular linear model or polynomial model, or this multiple linear regression model, so you can come up with different model. But for finding out the best possible compound, you should use the model which is like representing your data in the most accurate way. Okay, so something like you have to do some kind of quality assessment of your developed models. So how can you compare the quality of the two models? Can anyone answer? You have all these different models, how can you compare?
So like we can see which model is covering maximum number of data points.
Right. So that should be your criteria, that the curve, whatever is passing through the maximum number of points. Okay, so that should be your criteria. So how to assess the what criteria you can have, what can you determine so that you can compare the different models?
Yeah, you mentioned an R square value in last class.
Yes, so R square value is something we can determine. But I should say that R square is just one of the thing that like people use it regularly because it has some statistical significance and it is very simple to determine. But there can be other ways also that you can determine the quality. But what should be your criteria when you are comparing? So you said like uh, the how much data points your curve is better able to fit. So some kind of error you are always looking, like you are between your fitted curve and the data points, that how much error it is coming. So that needs to be considered. But there is a problem if you simply try to consider the difference between the your value and the value which is developed by your model, and you cannot directly compare it between the different models. Some kind of normalization factor should come so that different models can be compared together with some single factor. So that single factor should be R square or something. Okay. So if you try to do that, there is a term called standard deviation. Okay, we can consider the standard deviation, but little bit more sophisticated version of that. I said it should be normalized. So I said this R square term most of the time we use, which is called as coefficient of determination. Okay, here what exactly this R square is, try to understand. Here there are two plots are given. It is easy for you to interpret the first plot, which is related with the something called as RSS. Okay, this RSS is nothing but earlier whatever that SR term you have developed as summation of I equal to 1 to n EI square. This is the same thing, that is your RSS. So what is the meaning of RSS? It is residual sum of square. Residual means error related, the sum of the squares of errors. Okay. So if you see this by the formula, what is the formula? Yi minus yi calculated and square of that. So if you try to understand the same formula here, see there are four data points are given to you. Okay, these black color dots, and if you see this is your actual value y all of them four data points. Okay, so if you try to understand it like graphically, just understand earlier we said we cannot simply take the difference with the actual value with the determined value. Suppose this is your determined value on the model and this was your actual value. So if you simply take the difference and if you sum them up, like these and whatever multiple data points are there, you can visualize. So all the errors will cancelled out. So that's why we had this term, like instead of taking just the difference, we will take the square of that. So square term, you can literally visualize this like this. This line should be converted into some area. Okay. So this is something, this RSS is representing the error over the entire points that you have fitted, how much error it is associated in terms of square, in terms of area. So all these errors, like this particular area, and here also you can see, if closely you observe, there are some blue, as the points are very close to the line, you cannot really see that, but here if you see, there are blue colored some region is there, like in the square form you should consider. Okay, so if you sum all of those area, that is your residual sum of squares. Okay, now there is a reason that you cannot compare the RSS for different models directly. You need to have some factor like R square, which is eventually calculated from this RSS. There is this one image I have taken from Wikipedia. So there is instead of RSS, they have written SS. Either you can call it SSR or RSS or SS residual, they have mentioned. Okay. So here consider that R square is what? It is something 1 minus RSS divided by something called as TSS or SST, you can consider. Now what is this TSS? Okay. If you read the line here, they say the better the linear regression. Now here consider that we are only talking about linear regression. So the better the linear regression on the right, on this image, what is given, fits the data, the better the linear line is fitting your data points in comparison with what? To the simple average. Like as you have represented you have compared your data with a straight line passing through these data points by some criteria. Similarly, you can have some fitting in terms of average value. Instead of taking all the data points passing through them equally, if you consider the average of all of them and just whatever the average value is coming, you just passed your line through that, and this can be also one of the criteria for fitting your all the 4 data points, right? Which one will be the more accurate fitting, way of fitting? The right side or left side?
Right. So
Of course, the right side, right? Because average value, you can clearly here see the difference. Like here, the criteria you used earlier, it is like clearly showing that it is mostly taking into consideration all the data points properly, whereas this is a very approximate criteria. Okay. So if you see, this is something like a very crude criteria you are considering, and always when you are representing the data, this was a crude criteria. When you are representing your data in somewhat more sophisticated way, always you can see there will be some improvement in the quality, improvement in the when you are comparing rather than the average value. If you are having the comparison in terms of this RSS thing, there will be always some kind of improvement. Okay, so this improvement you need to understand, because this R square factor is nothing but it will say compared to the average fitting, what is the fitting in terms of my linear regression or something, and that improvement you are actually mentioning in this particular number. So this R square, it is eventually it will be 1 minus RSS divided by TSS. And I said this is actually trying to explain how much your linear regression is fitting the data better in comparison with simple average. Okay, so the closer the better it will fit, the closer the value of R square will be to 1. Okay, have you got this comparison? So here, this TSS thing, if you compare it with the RSS, you can write down the formula for your TSS as total sum of square is equal to summation of I equal to 1 to n. Again, the difference of this data point with respect to the average. average value. Earlier you had the difference with the calculated value. Now you are taking the difference with respect to the some average value. Okay, so here also this can be also represented in terms of curve, in terms of area. So if this is the data point, now see the comparison. Maybe for some of the data points, this can be even a better fit. Okay, like compared to this error, here this area is smaller, but in most of the cases you will always see, like if you are comparing with these kind of data points with the average value, the area becomes a lot bigger. This will be having even more error. So I said that's what you try to figure it out, that how much the reduction in error is compared to the average value. So this is just one way of comparison. That's why I said R square is one of the way for assessing the quality of the models. You can assess it by different ways. Okay, any question here, any doubt? So then what is this 1 minus RSS by TSS? Okay, why the formula is coming like this? I said the this particular curve, if you read in detail, the linear model, now we are considering a straight line, which you developed is considering the deviation of values more correctly than the simple average. This is what is important, that this is considering in a better way. And R square is what? R square is the improvement. This improvement you should consider that while you are moving from an average value TSS to a straight line RSS, instead of just considering it as average value, you are considering to a straight line. So this R square value is dependent on this factor, the improvement. And how can you calculate the improvement? How can you calculate the improvement for what the R square is taking into consideration? I hope you understood this. If you haven't understood, please ask me. I will explain it. Okay, how will you calculate the improvement then? If you understood, the R square I am saying it is taking into consideration the improvement from this to this. So I said this is something called as total sum of squares and this is something called as residual sum of square. So the improvement needs to be assessed, which should be proportional to your R square. So this improvement, it is called as some factor called as ESS. Now what is this ESS? It is explained sum of squares. Explained sum of squares. Can you tell me why the name might be explained sum of squares? Nikita?
No, sir, I'm not sure what's on that.
Okay. Have you understood what I said earlier in terms of TSS
Yes,
and
sir.
RSS? Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
So just I'm trying to say this is a very crude factor. Okay. And this is a something like something we are trying to approach perfection by fitting. So whenever you are having something crude and the perfection, there will be some difference, right? So this crude factor means if you talk in terms of error, so which error will be high on this side or this side?
Crude will have more error.
Crude will be having the high error and the whatever you are trying to approach a perfect, it will be having less error. Okay, so the difference between the two, it is what your R square thing is, how much improvement is happening when you are moving from a comparison for an average value to the regression linear fit. So that improvement we are estimating in terms of some numbers, so that we are calling that improvement as explained sum of squares. Okay, and explained sum of square will be the subtraction of two values. So some error value will be there that will be corresponding to the explained sum of squares, and higher this value means your fitting is coming even better, right? That can you try to understand? Like if the more the value of ESS means fitting is better. Like you can have another model for this, which you can have again comparison with your square value. If that value is coming even if even very less error is coming compared to this, so then you can say even that is the difference will be even bigger, and if the difference is bigger means the r square value there is even more improvement, so that is even a better fit that you can consider. Okay, I hope you have understood. So if you want to calculate, you understood RSS earlier, the TSS also. So ESS is subtraction between them. So the two factors needs to be subtracted. So the final answer for ESS, the formula becomes again summation of I 1 to n y I calculated minus average bar. Okay, here there is nothing related to your model. All the things which is sorry, nothing related to your actual experimental data, but what is the calculated value using the model and what is the average value. That is the difference between the thing. So if we go into more detail, now I said R square we are estimating the quality, and already mentioned it can be measured in other ways also. So this is also called as something called a squared correlation coefficient, or simply R square, small r square, or sometimes people also call it R squared also, right? So I mentioned to you earlier, this R square value in particular, it will be having the values between 0 and 1. The more the value it is closer to 1, as it is said earlier, the closer the value of R square is to 1, this is fitting in the better way. So value of 1 means your model is perfect, and value of 0 means none of the data points your water curve you are trying to fit is taking into consideration properly. Okay, so that difference you can consider, which we are estimating by R square. Uh, Now this R square value, I said it should be between 0 and 1, but certain times you get some negative values also, and certain times you get even more than 1. So they say this can be misleading. You need to estimate this R square value properly, otherwise it can be misleading. Okay. Uh, so all these three formula I have mentioned here clearly. Just know that now one thing was remaining. If our earlier thing, I said R square is equal to 1 minus ESS by TSS. Sorry, minus 1 minus RSS by TSS. Okay. So here, I hope you got earlier what did we do? We calculated ESS factor. What was the formula for ESS? It was, if you see the earlier slide, the formula was the total sum of squares and its difference with the RSS. Okay. So actually you can consider this R square is somewhat, it is nothing but proportional to your explained sum of square. It is explaining what is the improvement. So you can take the difference, but there is the parameter, the value it is coming as 1 minus RSS by TSS. Some one more factor is coming. We are dividing it again by TSS. So it is eventually becoming this 1 minus RSS by TSS. Now why we are dividing by TSS? Okay. So TSS you can consider as some kind of normalization factor. Is this ESS whatever values you are going to get, this always can vary depending upon the various units you are going to consider. The values will not be between 0 to 1. Suppose if I give you this example, some values are given for in terms of meters, you can see how the data is being fitted to this curve. If the same value is converted to kilometers, again you can see how the data is being fitted to the curve. The data is fitted is almost the same way, but what will happen to the difference in the values? These values, which if you are considering in terms of squares of residuals, they will be different, because earlier your factor was just in meter, now it changed to kilometer. So the error will be changing, and the two different models you cannot compare even though it is representing the same data. So R square, and in the both cases you can say RSS is something different. Here it is just 6.444, it is 6444. But when you are calculating R squared, means this is, you are dividing it by this TSS factor. So you are actually normalizing the error, normalizing this improvement, so that you are getting the values only between 0 to 1. Okay, that is the purpose of dividing it by TSS. So this improvement ESS by TSS we have calculated, and this is nothing but the R square. So R square is ESS by TSS. Your ESS was TSS minus RSS, and this you are dividing. So this is what the finally formula is. Have you understood this? If not, please ask. Okay. Now, suppose if you want to, if you do all these earlier, you come up with these equations and you have your Excel sheet, you calculate all these values, and you want to calculate the value of A0, A1, A2, that also you can do using by solving this equation by using calculator. But for R square value, what we'll do, suppose if I want to ask you to calculate the R square value, what will you do? Yes, Saransh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How will you calculate the R square value? Suppose if you have data points and all these equations also you have developed, and you know the your coefficient also is A naught, A1, A2.
Yes, sir, I'm thinking on it.
Okay. Anyone wants to answer how will you calculate R square value from the Excel sheet?
So, like directly we can have the R square value in the Excel sheet.
Right, directly we can have, but like I said in the exam, suppose if you
Yes, sir.
don't have computer with you, how are you going to calculate it? That you should understand.
So we'll have to do the averaging, and then
Uh,
those square values for each of the coins will have to do
uh
summation and then R square value calculation using the formula.
So if you have this formula for R square, so you need to know these three terms, right? TSS, RSS, and ESS. So actually, if you see the final formula, if you simply can calculate this RSS term and TSS term, directly the R square value can be calculated, right? So RSS, you already know the difference of each and every data point with your measured value, and similarly TSS is each and every data point and difference with the average value, so square of that. If you can calculate these two terms, so the R square value can be evaluated for any of such models. Even for your multiple linear regression also you can do the same thing. You can, using this formula you can calculate. So just I will show you the example on the Excel sheet. Okay. So linear model, suppose if you are considering that I asked you, like there is a linear fit and you can do the second order polynomial fit, and then you want to compare the model, which model is better fitting your data in a better way. So these were your data points, and you develop some formula for which you needed these xi square and xi into xy. So for that, all the summation values you have predicted, and from that you have calculated the a naught and a1 value. Okay. Now for estimating the R square value, you need the two terms. You need RSS and you need TSS. So I have calculated in the Excel sheet itself some these two value y minus y average whole square and this term. So if I know these two terms, I can estimate my R square value. Okay. So which is this term, y minus y average square means? Which is this term?
TSS.
This TSS, total sum of squares. Like you are comparing all the data points what you had earlier with the average value. Average you can calculate and you can take the difference and square of them. And what is this?
RSS.
RSS. So each and every data point yi and difference of your model is A0 plus A1 XR. Okay, and then you can get. So if R square I want to calculate, I can simply do. I know that the simple formula for that is 1 minus, in bracket I can write down RSS by TSS. So this is my RSS value and this is my TSS value. Okay. So you have got your R square value. That day I showed to you how you can represent this data. If you select trend line something, you can have this R square value directly on the chart. So you can see 0.8875. It is matching with this R square value. What you can actually calculate on the paper. So I will give some assignment related to this maybe next time, and you have to do in this way of Excel sheet. Okay. Same thing you can do for second order polynomial. Again, some ST and this TSS or RSS you can calculate, and again you can do 1 minus RSS by TSS. So you will get the R square value. So I said you can compare the R square value, which model is fitting in a better way. The second order polynomial is having a value closer to 1. It is 0.907 compared to this 0.887. So you can say your second order polynomial is fitting your data in a better way. Okay. So you can consider in the same way, you have to develop different models, you have to calculate the R square values of that. So again, this would be something like a trial and error method. If you have some sophisticated software, you can do this thing using some techniques like artificial neural network, and you can find out which descriptors are even better fitting your data or something. So later on for your mini project, if some of you want to go into the detail of this and want to try, but I had tried to search for some freeware software related to this, I didn't find out. If you can find out, try to do it. There are commercial software, but I said never download any pirated version of anything. Just if you can always have any freeware software for our course, then only do that thing. So this is related to R square. Now there is one more thing. Yeah. Now there is a concept called this adjusted R square. Okay. If you are having a linear model, your R square value you can compare for different things. Like if you have a descriptor, suppose x log p. Suppose your next factor is your molecular refractivity. So you have two different models. Activity is equal to something, and as a function of x log p, you can consider activity as the function of MR, you can consider. So the two models directly you can compare. What are R square value you are getting, whether your activity is fitting better with respect to partition coefficient or better with respect to molar refractivity. So that particular descriptor you will say, okay, is you need to consider for sure. Suppose, but instead of just having one descriptor, if you want to add molar refractivity into this thing also, and if you want to, instead of having the function as one descriptor, suppose if you want to consider two descriptors, so then multiple linear regression is coming into picture. Okay, similarly third and fourth factor will also come. So if statistically you go into detail, you will understand that as you proportionally add more and more descriptor, there is some kind of bias gets created for your R square value. Means even though the fitting might not be that better when you are adding an extra variable, but R square value, it is getting proportionally increasing. And this is, like I said, this is a like error from the statistical point of view which needs to be sorted out. Means when you are having only linear model comparison, it works fine, but if you are trying to compare a linear model with a multiple linear thing, or there are two multiple linear models, and if you are trying to compare both of them, then I think you have to always compare, instead of the simple R square value, you have to take into consideration the adjusted R square value. It is sometimes written as R square ADJ. Okay. So you can read here that what I say, that R square automatically increase as more and more explanatory variables are adding into the model. Like, means in our case, you are adding more and more molecular descriptors for defining your for predicting your activity. So your R square value is proportionally will increase, and which is not correct. Even in the certain cases, the values might go above 1, which is not correct. So your R square value, you should consider that you have to adjust it. In certain cases, your adjusted R square value can be negative. Okay, as the way you are trying to compare it with your earlier thing, so it can be negative in certain cases, but your R square value should be always between 0 to 1. Now, if you see here, what is the meaning of this? If you add more and more useless variables to the model, your adjusted R square value will decrease. Means I should say, instead of will, we should write should decrease. If you are adding more and more useless variable, suppose for your activity, it should decrease. If you add more and more useful variables, your adjusted R square value should increase. Okay, like for giving the example, last time I gave you some example like about some happiness factor or something. Instead of that, I will just talk perfectly. Like, consider some factor is there related to, like, suppose our body fitness, you can consider. Okay, on which factor it is dependent on? Can someone give me some answers? If you consider about how fit we are, on which factor it is dependent on?
Diet, physical activity.
Yes. Okay. Any other thing? I think it's good to develop even this kind of models for your life also, because if you know on which factor it is dependent more, so you should be well aware of those factors so that the life quality can be improved, and that also happiness or something. So ultimately, you can consider maybe all these factors are eventually related. So if you are saying fitness, if it is related with the diet, or I can say food, whatever you are consuming, anything, then everything will come. And then physical activity, you said, right? So if I write down the exercise, if you are having, if you can represent these things in terms of some number. Okay. Any other factor that you feel is important? Whether you are having good amount of sleep or not, even that can be considered to the fitness level. So there can be so many factors. Now these three factors always you can consider are very much important. So if you are ignoring any of these factors, so maybe the model you are developing, that might not be that accurate. But if you are taking into consideration some other factor which are less important, or which are not that uh, which are not even having anything to do with this, like suppose if you are having a fitness watch, so some factor in terms of that cost of the fitness watch, if you are trying to merge, so maybe this might be not that important. Okay, so you can consider, if more and more useful variables you are having into your model, your R square value should be increasing. If in the same model, if you are adding some unnecessary or less important factors, so your R square adjusted value, it should decrease. So this actually you should see by developing the model. So you'll come to know also which descriptors are more important. Whatever R square value you have earlier developed as 1 minus RSS by TSS, so the same factor you need to do some adjustment. I said with more and more addition of explanatory variables, the bias gets created and the R square value automatically increases. Means for one descriptor it will be less, but two descriptors it will be more, three descriptor it will be even more. But it should not be, because bias has created, you need to adjust it, you need to normalize it. So this factor called here the factor, the n is given and p is given. So n is nothing but your data points, and p is your number of descriptors or your explanatory variables you can consider. So using this factor, you need to remove that bias. Now you can consider this factor as 1 minus this entire term. So you can consider as more and more variables will be there. So what is going to happen to this particular factor? This number will decrease, and if this number will decrease, so this will increase. So this will proportionally, the entire term will increase. So that adjusted R square will be according to the p value. This R square value will be adjusted. If you see this, there is a video in detail which explain how the adjusted R square value improves over the R square. So I have given the link for it. If you haven't understood, just go through that. Here they have given a simple example like the wages of a particular employee. It is dependent on some factor. So you can develop different models. Like suppose two different models are given. So model number one, it is dependent on some factors like education. Okay, so education is proportional to how much wages that person is going to get. So based on that, they have calculated some R square value. Now the wages, it can be along with the education, some other factor is considered, RH. Now this RH means whether the person is right-handed. So based on that, some number has been assigned, and that has been tried to uh, proportionally tell some relation with the wages. Now you can consider whether a person is right-handed or left-handed. It should not be related with the wages. So still you are trying to develop with that model. So if proportionally more descriptors are coming into picture, more variables, so you can see here from this to this, the R square value increase, which should not be. The quality should not be increasing with adding the factors. I said what useless factors you are considering, it should not increase. So for that, this R square value, adjusted R square value is there. That here the adjusted R square value is 0.50. Whereas when you are adding some unnecessary factors, so your adjusted R square value is decreasing. This is not always the case that if you are adding some extra factors, it will always decrease. If you are adding some useful factor, maybe the adjusted R square value can even go beyond this particular value. Not I said in the earlier thing they have mentioned, adjusted R square value can be negative and its value will always be less than or equal to that of R square. Like depending on that formula, you can consider that the value will be always less than or equal to, but it can it can be 0.52 or something if you add a useful variable. Okay, I hope you have understood this. If there are any questions, please ask.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Since basically all for already developed model, if we are adding any more factors to find R square for that new model, we are using this method, right?
Pranit, say again.
Like for a already developed model, we are adding some new factors. So finding R square for the new model, we are considering this process of adjust R square method.
Yeah, means more and more variables if you are adding into the earlier thing, so you should definitely evaluate the adjusted R square value.
Like, or else we can find R square for this new model from start, like using the data points. Like,
No, no. But R square value is not something which you will be able to compare. Suppose if you say for the new thing from scratch, you are estimating the value of R square. This R square value won't be correct for comparison with the other models. You need to, if there are in your earlier model, there is just one descriptor and you have evaluated R square. And for your new model, you have evaluated R square. So they cannot be compared with each other. You need to evaluate adjusted R square.
yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, so know these things well. Next time I will give assignment number 3 where you will actually develop the models and where you will actually I will ask you to compare the different models, and I will say using the best possible model, you yourself take a molecule. You have to create a molecule yourself, and for each and every student will be taking a different molecule. And for your molecule, you will say whether it is a good molecule in comparison with the earlier 6 molecules that you had in that research paper. Okay, so that study we'll do next time. Okay, if there are no questions, you can leave.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So I had a query regarding paddle descriptor.
Mhm.
I think it is giving the wrong values for molecular weight.
Mm. Based on what you are saying this?
Sir, we calculated them for S1 to S6, the ones you gave.
Mhm.
And so the paddle descriptor gives the molecular weight as 264, whereas the
Mhm.
theoretical weight should be 250.
250. So like smile string or something, have you checked whether everything is correct?
So I have checked everything. I checked the smile string and I input into an online database. So
Uh-huh.
that gives out the weight to be 250. I also downloaded a PDB file which was there online for the same compound. And if paddle descriptor calculates on the basis of that, even then it's giving 264.
Okay. Now here what you can do, first thing, the versions of softwares what I mentioned, I hope you are using the same thing.
Yes, sir,
Uh,
yes, sir. The last version it came out was in 2014, I think. So
yeah,
yes,
have you tried it for some simple molecules like butane or something, whether it is giving the correct thing, and then like I would say like do all these trials, like whether it calculates for simple molecules properly or not, and with the other molecular descriptors are also there. Like, are they coming correct?
yes, sir. The Wiener index matches with the ones in the research paper.
Okay, okay,
So I think Praneeth did that. Praneeth did it with atoms, and still he was getting the wrong values.
okay. Guys, one thing I would like to say here, see, your assignment is your individual thing. I don't know what you are doing on the back side, but ethically, actually, you should, if you want to do any comparison or something, you should do on the internet or you can ask me. This is not good way to compare each other results. Okay.
No, sir,
Uh,
we were just we were saying whether like paddle
yes, yes, I'm
descriptor is
just saying
giving a
like,
problem. Okay, sir.
yes, if you want to have the comparison, like check your smile string properly.